Okay, Eddie, what's up? We're going to go over this real quick. Um, yeah, so just kind of covering some of your concerns you had with the video of your squat. So I wanted to break this down for you. So I think the concern you have right now of uneven isn't necessarily what we need to be talking about. So the thing that concerns me right now is just some of your positioning through your lift. So you actually through the hip, you actually look pretty good, right? So you're pretty even here. Obviously, still have a really aggressive toe out position. We're going to check this out, though. I want to show you something. So as you come out in the concentric, you naturally put yourself into a pretty good position. So you're overloading here with your knees out. So I would bet if we move these boxes, looked at it from the side, okay, you've got these knees pushing out outside of your actual foot, okay? So if your foot's right here, you have your knee pushing outside of your foot, which we all understand that valgus, or knee to the inside inset, is a fault, right? But it's also a fault to have the knee outside of the foot. So we're going to talk about that right here because that's called varus, and that's going to put a lot of pressure into the knee when you're pushing it outside of, so it's not stacked with the hip and the foot anymore, it's on the outside. So as you come up, you actually pull back into the natural position. So your knees stacked up over the foot. This is a decent position right here. Okay, you can see the difference between that and the bottom. You're pushing outside. Watch the slight shift here as you come out. Boom, knees drive in. Okay, you're in a more natural position. Now watch your lower. Okay, so immediately the first thing you do is you start to push your knees out super hard. Okay, that's not really correct, and unfortunately is something that's overly coached all the time to try to fix people's problems, but it actually causes its own host of problems. Okay, so what I want you to think about instead is, this is where I want you to do some work barefoot, is grabbing the ground with the foot, which is going to help align that knee directly over the foot. You can also just think about, if thinking about the foot's a little bit much right now, you can just think about keeping the knee stacked up over the foot. I don't want the knee pushing outside of the foot. I want you to treat that as if it's just as big of a fault as, let's say, letting that knee cave in really hard, okay? Because right now you're just so far out on that varus side that you are creating issues with the knee. This is putting a lot of tension into the knee because of the angles. So I want that knee to be straight down over the foot rather than such a hard shove to the outside. Okay, it's going to be a little bit harder for you at first. It's going to use some different muscles, but that might be where we're capping out and getting pain in the knees, is because you're creating unnecessary stress on it by driving those knees out too hard. Again, if you can think about the foot and focus on an active foot on the ground, driving, let's say this is your big toe right here, driving this knuckle, so this is your toe, this is the knuckle on the base of your foot. I want you to take this knuckle and I want you to push it into the ground as hard as you can. What that's going to do is kind of cause your toe to bend like this. So the tip of your toe will be pushing in, you'll have a little arch in your toe, and this knuckle will be shoved into the ground as hard as you can. If you maintain that throughout your movement, your knees will naturally line up, because external rotation is good, it's not bad. But if you're giving up the position with the foot, you're going to go into an extreme range of motion and start to cause issues. So by keeping that knuckle, that rule of thumb, if you keep that big knuckle down hard with the big toe, that's going to, and then externally rotate, that's going to stop you from getting that knee so far into a varus position. Okay. So I need you to try that, and I need you to pay extra attention to that, and I need you to potentially not lift in your lifters if that's going to help you out. So think about those things, keeping that knuckle down, driving through that, and then give me some feedback on how that feels and whether that provides any relief for you. Okay? Thanks.